Hey everybody, Theresa here, and welcome back to Wednesday's Art Journal with me. Today I am in my traveler's notebook and I'm going to create an art affirmation page. I'm working with the Pinkfresh studio and Altenew collaboration called Celebrate. That collab had patterned papers, a couple of stamp sets, and dies. And also had a pack of ephemera, I believe. And then I also pulled just a plain white puffy alphabet from Pinkfresh as well to use for my layout. And so I'm going to cut down some mixed media paper. This is Canson brand mixed media paper. And I have an idea of what I want to do in my notebook today, but I'm going to use some acrylics kind of as watercolors. So I thought I would use a mixed media paper that would absorb that wet medium a little bit better. And so once I had that cut down, and I went ahead and folded it in half so that I knew where my fold line was. And then I'm using two acrylic paint colors. One is the apple barrel limeade color, and the other is Americana from Deco Art in melon. And what I was doing was kind of recreating the background that the floral is sitting on that I'm going to cut out. And so the background just has these brush strokes of color going across it, and you can see it right there on the pattern paper itself. I put down that green color, and it looks really bright here. It's quite chartreuse, but I sort of added a bit more water to it to sort of wash it out a little bit more, to take away a bit of that intensity. And it actually worked out really beautifully. It is not exactly the green from the background of the pattern paper, and that's okay. I could have started over. No judgment there. You know, if you put a paint color down and don't like it, you can always start over, especially at this point. But I also recommend, usually I swatch my paint colors first, and I didn't swatch my paint colors. I just had this idea and I was just ready to go with it. And so sometimes that happens. Just go with it and don't really overthink it, because in the end, a lot of this is going to be covered up anyway. So not all of it is going to show the way that it shows right now. So that worked out. And then I also added some paint splatters as well. I just use a rough kind of pointed brush for that, and a lot of water, as you can see. And then I usually put down a paper towel and pull up some of the color back off of the page, just to help cut down the wrinkling of the paper in a way. So you can see how that turned out. And yes, it is wrinkled a little bit, and I'm going to leave it to air dry. And when you allow your mediums to air dry, that also will cut down a bit on the buckling. And so then I'm going to cut out this beautiful floral element from the pattern paper. I've seen several designers cut this piece out. There are some other pattern papers in the collection that also lend themselves to being cut out like this, and it just creates a beautiful, beautiful background. And I thought it would be really pretty to make an affirmation page with this beautiful floral. And what I do is I typically do a rough cut around, and then just go in and detail cut a little bit more. I try, when I am fussy cutting, I try not to think too much about it. I am using bigger scissors. Most people like to use small scissors when they're doing fussy cutting. And if you have tried with small scissors and you just can't get it to feel right, try it with larger scissors like I'm doing here. What I find about these scissors is that it allows me to make a longer cut, and for me that feels smoother than 1,000 tiny cuts with the little scissors. I may be completely weird in that, and so if I am, then I own that. I'm just a big giant weirdo, but but that has helped me tremendously to figure out a style of fussy cutting for me that I like. And so once I have that beautiful floral cut out, I'm going to figure out how I want to put it down on my background paper. But first I decided that I wanted to stamp something on that background as well. And first I was going to stamp this little grid. It's a Hero Arts stamp block, I think. And I grabbed 2 of my Pinkfresh ink cubes, key lime and olive, to see which one I felt matched better. And I ended up using the darker one, the olive. And then I also ended up changing my mind and using the floral stamp from Pinkfresh as well. It just seemed more fitting, I think. And it also creates kind of like a little shadow around that cut element now. And so I'm going to just clean my stamp off a little bit and then get ready to adhere this floral piece. And I'm just going to use my tape runner for that. And then once I have it adhered down, I'm also going to refold that floral as well so that it has a good fold line in the middle and will adhere into my notebook a little bit better. And just using an old bone folder from Cricut, you guys. I've had this thing forever, and just pull it out just for this. So that way you have a good fold in the center of your page. And once I have that done, the background is completed. Isn't that pretty? I thought it turned out so beautiful. And then I'm going to add my affirmation here. And so just using these plain white puffy alphabets, they're all caps, which is kind of nice. They aren't particularly bold in terms of color, but I think the all caps helps them to be legible because they're bold through being all caps, if that makes sense. And so what I spelled out was, you bring your own special light. And so that is what I want you to feel affirmed of today, is that you, within yourself, own your own special light. It's unique to you. It's only yours. And no one else has that special light other than you. And so when you find that light inside yourself, and when you love that light inside yourself, and you allow that to go out into the world, then you are doing good things in the world, and you're doing good things for yourself. I think for some of us it's harder to find that light, especially if you've been through difficult circumstances in your life, especially if you have faced challenges and trauma in your life. It may be a little harder for you to find your light. And so I want to just affirm that you are on the right path. And when you find it and you allow it to shine, good things will come to you. And that will be a good life for you. And so that's what I hope for you today. I hope that you will spend some time creating art today that affirms you. Make an affirmation page today No photos, no photography, no photo editing, just something that reminds you of the good that is in you. Go do that today. Be sure to check out our blog at larkindesigntm.com, and I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.